A wild and wacky week 3 with all the tricks. Some good, some bad, some flat out ugly. Would Sapp and the Bucs have the last dance in Atlanta? Dante goes down. Will the Vikes' perfect record follow? While nobody returns it better than this Dante. Shutout at the half, the Colts put on a scoreboard stampede. The Bolts go powder blue to keep Jamal Lewis under 295. And Rams Seahawks. Is it a changing of the guard in the NFC West? The big dance coming. NFL Primetime. Heck.
NFL Primetime is presented by Miller Lite. Primetime is Miller time. And now, here's your host, Chris Berman.
Hello once again, everybody. Welcome to week 3 of NFL Primetime, the final Sunday of the summer Sunday of the season, if you will. And oh my goodness, if this is summer, we can't wait for fall, Tom.
There's been quite a shift already. Before the season changes, we've seen some shifting around the NFL.
Some interesting separation already in a couple of divisions. Some great late action. Early action, let's go to that right away. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati and all the Bengals. It's still the bathroom, Tom. It's a new janitor, Marvin Lewis. They're playing better. Bill Cowher, though, has his team in Cincinnati. And even, you know what? More respect for the Bengals because they're using trickery at least.
That's right.
And this is Tommy Maddox, the holder, to Jeremy Tooman. And it's 1st and goal on the trick field goal. Then on 3rd and goal, same drive. Maddox to Hines Ward, 7-0. The Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, and watch Dan Kreider here. Hines Ward kind of pinned at the 1-yard line. Watch Kreider come in and push. Everybody get into the end zone. Get into the end zone.
3rd quarter, 4th and goal, Steelers and the bus. This was a game that Pittsburgh looked like the old Steelers. Jerome Bettis with a touchdown. And look at Bill Cowher all the way out on the field, 30 yards. Hey, you're still with us. You're still important. They lead 14-3. Joey Porter with a backside blitz. Sacks John Kitna. Porter back after his accident. After getting a bullet in the derriere. He's back 3 weeks later. Kitna to Peter Warrick. Touchdown. It's a 17-10 game. But Amos Zaraway on 3rd and 8 for a first down. And then it's the bus again. Zaraway with the speed. Jerome Bettis with the battering ram. And the Steelers, hold on. I mean, it wasn't artful. It was a win. Yes. Watch this. First down. Coach Cowher, did they make? Yeah. So Pittsburgh wins at 17-10, the largest crowd they've ever had at a football game in Cincinnati, Tom. 64,596. Many of them, of course, Steeler fans coming down. So Pittsburgh 2-1. The Bengals trying, but they're 0-3. But Tommy, look, this was a game in which Pittsburgh, with their aerial attack with Maddox and those great wide receivers, all the /2, /3, /4, /infinity. We recognized something here, didn't we?
Well, you talked about it being the old game plan for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that included Jerome Bettis. But it's into the 3rd quarter before you really see Bill Cowher use Jerome Bettis. When he made the change to Zaraway, he knew he would have a stronger Bettis as the season went on, as games go on. Here, you see the fullback, Dan Kreider, spotting the safety as he's coming up into the box. And again, as soon as Jerome Bettis can, he gets north-south. He's fresh. The defense isn't. Here, motion Hines Ward inside. He and Plexico Burris do a great job of picking up. The guard comes outside. They double up. They leave the safety to Jerome Bettis, who piles down to the 1-yard line, and then a nice simple fold block. This is what they used to do 2 years ago when they were the best running team, one of, in the history of football. And I think I just give Bill Cowher credit. He's able to run that wide open, 3-wide receiver passing game. He's also able to go back to this, and I think because of the way he uses Bettis, again, a better back at the end of games, a better back at the end of the season.
A versatile team.
Yes,
offensively. Yes. What he said is, look, I realize I've been around long enough. We've gone to the playoffs a certain way that when you get there, you better be able to score. It's kind of an opposite thing for a defensive guy to say, but I realize you better be able to score something.
He's always been very flexible. That's the key to a great coach.
Well, the Bengals game, but they don't get Marvin Lewis's first win. We're just starting. Still to come, Jeff Fisher pulls out all the tricks as the Titans take on the Saints. True or false? All the Chiefs do is score a touchdown. Just ask the Texans. Another loss, another milestone for Vinny and the Jets. Plus, what's Jamal Lewis have in mind for an encore? Which Packer team will show up in the desert? And why no one knew what to expect when the Rams took on the Seahawks.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Tell it over a great-tasting, less-filling Miller Lite. It's Miller time. And in part by Visa. If you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be. And ESPN Video Games.
Kansas City Chiefs won 2 whole games impressively. Houston's home opener and Priest Holmes, Texas native, played ball in Texas college, injured ribs, but you wouldn't know it by this. As Holmes, as he's done the first 2 games this year with a strong start. Here's a 7-yard pickup, and watch this, Tom.
Yeah, this is Kylie Wong out here, and as Priest Holmes goes by him, he's going to turn the Wong way. And we get Priest Holmes open behind him. You know, that's just a linebacker losing sight of a running back that you have to know exactly where he is at every moment.
Holmes going the white way, and he got into a pudding tap with a 6-yard touchdown, and the Chiefs are 7-0.
Yeah, you know, I talk about Priest being such a patient back. Just watch at the line of scrimmage. Certainly you get the good push up front, but look at the patience. He actually puts his hand on the back of Tony Richardson to see where he's going to get the block on Coleman. Then he just leans outside, and what a great job of making it look easy.
So after Houston's tied it, Priest Holmes says, "You wang?" It's a 5-yard touchdown, 14-7 Kansas City.
And again, you're going to see Priest Holmes. Again, look at the patience. He does a great job of reading the blocks, lets everybody clear once he sees the pylon to the outside, knows he's got the speed, and he's got that great jump when he needs to get him into the end zone.
So third quarter now, Jerome Woods makes the drill on Tony Hollings. That's a bubble. And Dexter McCleon has it for Kansas City. Defense. Boy, more on them in a moment because they score in return games, and the offense says thank you. Trent Green, Eddie Kennison, 15 yards. Now, Houston played a good first half, and it's 21-7. And then, did I say return? Did we say Dante Hall sheds one, moves by another, makes a move outside? And guess what? For the second straight week, he could go all the way. 73 yards, a kick return, now a punt return. This guy is unbelievable. He has, in the last 8 games, going back to last year, obviously, 5 punt and kick returns, and the Chiefs have now gone over the century mark in just 3 games. They beat the Texans 42-14.
All 3 phases clicking on all cylinders for Dick Vermeil.
110 points, 15 touchdowns, but 4 of them on return, either Dante Hall or the defense. Saints, Titans. The Titans have won 7 in a row at home. First, they almost blocked the punt, but then watch what happens. On the other end, a disaster. Justin McCarron's hit, and the whoop, the fumble, and then the whoop. Lamont Thompson has it. He's tackled in the end zone, and it's a 3-2 game. Hit me, Tom. The dealer has a 6 showing. Whoop, and then whoop, and they're going to discuss it, but the flag is a forward lateral.
Yeah.
Suffice it to say, not the Music City Miracle.
2.
So 3-2, but after New Orleans fumbles the free kick, the punt, and then Craig Hendrick, who kicked that with a fake punt, throws to McCarron, and now the Titans in business. This led to a field goal. Meanwhile, Titans defense bottled up Deuce McAllister.
Yeah, that's Deuce McAllister going to be spot shadowed right there. A lot of movement of Deuce McAllister trying to get him started with the run game. He gets stuffed right there by Rocky Calmus. Then you see him in the shotgun with the quarterback in the shotgun. He's standing behind him, gets the handoff. Again, that goes for nothing. And then again here outside the tackle, come back with the counter inside. Titans ready for that as well. 5 carries for -9 yards in the first half.
Yeah,
not
you know
what this
happened?
football team expected.
But Tommy, when New Orleans has 2 points, you know they're going to Deuce McAllister. I think Tennessee knew that. I think they finally got off the 2 with the 5, so they tried to change things up, but that doesn't work either. Dante Stallworth's going to be hit by Peter Sermon. Always delivers on Sunday. It's a babo. And Samari Roll with the ball for Tennessee. And and Steve McNair. What bad break? What a throw.
So strong.
5 yards to Drew Bennett, who assigns himself into the end zone. 8 catches, 105 yards. Then Eddie George started slow, had a couple of very powerful runs. And Tom, 29 carries for 100 yards for Eddie George. And you know this makes Jeff Fisher smile as the Titans get the touchdown and go on to win by the count of 27-12. So they are 2-1. They had the ball for 39 minutes in this game, almost 400 yards, keeping the Saints to under 200. Old-time Tennessee ball the way he likes it.
Yeah, and you talked about those numbers for Eddie George. You talk about the Saints just the opposite, 15 carries for 23 yards. That just will not get it done for that ball club. I know they wanted to run the football today.
And McNair, another strong game with 22 of 33. So all around, a big win for the Tennessee Titans. The team that beat them last week, Peyton Manning, and the Colts off to a slow start but a fast finish. And the 2-0 Minnesota Vikings trying to make it 3 for 3 in their division in Detroit. Here on ESPN, the Buffalo Bills out of the gates. They're not circling wagons. They're just corralling them at the Miami Dolphins, who usually are so tough on their home field, especially early in the season. For highlights of this one of the AFC East, Steve Levy.
Bills going for their first 3-0 start since '91. Miami hasn't lost twice at home in September since '89. And Drew Bledsoe and the Bills have been dominant in their 2 wins so far this season. First quarter, Bledsoe's back to pass. As you can see, Bledsoe pretty blatant as to exactly where he's going. And Sammy Knight able to pick up on the Drew Bledsoe stare. And on Bledsoe's pass to Eric Moulds, Knight is there for the pick. Still scoreless in the second quarter. Little Bills trickery. Hand off to Travis Henry. Throws it towards the end zone. Underthrew it. Picked off by Patrick Surtain. Second interception of the game. Later in the second, Bills driving again. Bledsoe going for Moulds in the end zone. That is picked off by Brock Marion. Take another look. Drew staring the whole way. Even I know there's no check off there. Fourth quarter, it's 10-0. The theme continues. Jay Fiedler underthrows Nate Clements. Intercepts it, takes it 54 yards, and the Bills are on the board. His second pick of the game. Ricky Williams had himself a ball game. That's good for 21 yards. Williams had 42 carries, a franchise high, 4th most in NFL history. It's ruled a touchdown there. Dolphins win. Next week on ESPN's Sunday Night Football, Peyton Manning and the 3-0 Colts hit New Orleans as the 1-2 Saints try to get back to 500. We go back to Boomer and the rest of NFL Primetime.
8 teams began week 3 at 2-0. One of them, the Minnesota Vikings. We showed you the Chiefs won already to go 3-0. Vikings at Detroit. And if they could win, it would be 3 wins in the division, 2 on the road. And Dante Culpepper, after the Lions surprised the Vikings with a 10-0 lead, runs it in himself, setting a new team record, most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback, breaking the mark of one of the best scramblers of all time. Fran targeted 10-6. Mo Williams with a little help from Culpepper right there. And look at Mo. Mo definitely running 61 yards for the Vikes out of the shadow of their own goalpost.
I think this is what makes Dante Culpepper such a great leader. There he is in the spot shadow, Dre Blyde coming up, and that's a block. That's not a quarterback just getting in the way. That's a guy throwing a great block. Mo Williams, 61 yards later down the field.
Now Culpepper is going to bootleg and look at Moss and then all of a sudden run up the middle, but he's going to get hurt on the play. Gives the Vikings the lead, 13-10. He left with a bad back. It'll be examined again Sunday night, Monday, but he says that he will be ready for next week. Meanwhile, Joey Harrington, Lions, jams his finger after passing out. Turn away if you don't want to see this, but this is how you get him back in the game. It's back. Mike McMahon replaced Harrington briefly on the drive. Tom went up, interviewed Culpepper. Naturally, he got hurt. Gus Frerotte, but you interviewed him, and you said, when they're not even looking in the last minute of a half, they won't expect the backup to throw a bomb. What a great call by Mike Tyson Company, and a great throw from Frerotte to Moss, 72 yards.
Yeah, this is why they really got Gus Frerotte. We talk about him mentoring to Culpepper. He's really an outstanding backup quarterback as well.
That set up a field goal, Tommy, 16-10, and then with it 16-13, Frerotte, 72 yards to Kelly Campbell. And you know a receiver that wears a number in the teens has got to be fast.
That's
right?
correct.
Got to be fast. 23-13. Lions need a score. Corey Chavis has been an interception machine. got 3. Harrington picked off 3 times. The Lions, down 10, had 4 plays at the 1. They couldn't get in to get it close at Minnesota. Now 3-0. Remember, they were 7-0 in 2000, but 3-0, winning 23-13 with 414 yards. What a job by Ferraro.
Yeah, over 400 yards of offense and held Detroit to right around 300. The defense is much improved.
As we go inside the numbers, Dante Culpepper putting up impressive numbers. Remember, the Vikings finished well last year. So last 10 games, he's 7-3. He's passed for 15. He's rushed for 8. Oh, by the way, Minnesota's won 6 straight games.
Inside the numbers. Brought to you by Visa. If you love the NFL, it's everywhere you want to be.
Those guys, Tarkenton, Elway, Randall Cunningham, our own Steve Young, and now Dante Culpepper. Here is Tom Brady, Super Bowl winner a couple of years ago. The Patriots, in their home opener, have lost 5 in a row in Foxborough to the New York Football Jets. Patriots defense stuffing Curtis Martin, but the big guy, Ted Washington, legged.
Yeah, and what an ugly sight. Watching him get bent over like that, you see the staff over there working on him on the sideline, and he would not return. Boom.
So the big fella of Washington with a fractured left leg, then Brady to David Patton, but on this long pass play, he would injure his right leg. The Patriots have already lost Rosie Colvin for the year. Ted Johnson with a broken foot, ouch, literally. Dan Straczynski, Igor to Kevin Mawai, it's incomplete. So the fake by Herm Edwards doesn't work on the fake field goal. Not exactly name it to Maynard. Then 6-6 in the second on 3rd and 9. Sam Coward, who had a big game involving 16 tackles. Brady hit, looked at his elbow, he would stay in. So this just a field goal battle, Tommy. It's 9-9, 3rd quarter. Until Brady to the tight end, Christian Fourier, 28 yards. Then the next play, Jason Ferguson in. Brady sidesteps him to Fourier. It's a 1st down. Then on 1st and goal, Brady, nobody open. This obviously a decision he makes himself.
It's an element of the game we don't see a lot from Tom Brady, but you know that he can do it.
16-9 the Patriots. Same score in the 4th, 3rd and 5. Vinny Testaverde picked off by the 4th-round draft pick from Central Florida, Asante Samuel. 55 yards gone. Vinny, I think, passed Jeff George in the interception bowl there. But on the next possession, Testaverde, 29 yards to Wayne Corbett. The Jets are down 23-16, and Vinny passes Johnny Unitas on the all-time passing list. He had a run. I think he passed Franco Harris at some point earlier in the game. But back to the game, 3rd and 4. Testaverde incomplete to Corbett. 4th and 4. Jets need it after the 2-minute break. Incomplete to Curtis Conway. And so the Jets, who have started slow under Herm Edwards and now is 3 years there, now start at 0-3. New England, after that punch in the face really week 1 in Buffalo, have come back to win 2 despite losing players left and right. They win at 23-16. Herm Edwards on the gamble that didn't work.
We've moved the ball. The last 2 weeks we've kind of moved the ball, but we're not scoring touchdowns. So that's why the coach goes for it on 4th down. That's why he fakes field goals. There might be something else I do next week. Ain't no telling. Because I'm going to do whatever I can do to score a touchdown. That's what I look at when I watch us play. You know, and at that point, in the 2nd quarter, are you kidding me? It's 6-3. Why not? You know, you get some life in your football team. And I told them, that's how we're going to play. We're not going to play hesitant. We're not going to play worrying about, well, if I do this, we might not win the game. We're going to play to win the game.
No problem with that. It just didn't happen to work this time.
that.
Of course we like that. Jaguars at Colts. Now, Colts won a huge game against Tennessee. How would they come out on a game they're, quote, supposed to win? Answer, not great. Rasheed Mathis tips a pass by Peyton Manning. James Trapp for Jacksonville picks it off. And Manning and the Colts struggled at home in a non-sellout early. Still second, 3-0 Jags. Dump to Dallas Clark, the rookie.
Woo!
Oh, Tony Brackett lowers the boom. Clark ruled down before the fumble, but what a hit.
It was great.
We showed this in the pregame.
Great pursuit down the line of scrimmage by Tony Brackett, and that's the kind of hit you can get if you will continue to hustle to the football.
So Peyton Manning looking to get the offense going second. And let's get it going with Edgerrin James.
Absolutely. We said last week, we thought we were seeing the Edgerrin James of old. Once you have that, you want to feed him the football. It helps not only to get him going and keep the defense honest, but it helps to make Peyton Manning comfortable so he can play action pass.
And so that sets up the play action to Manning to Reggie Wayne from stately Wayne Manor out of the bat cave. 28 yards, the Colts lead 7-3. Later third, Manning, Marvin Harrison. It's a circus catch every week.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Look at this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. How about the footwork, huh? Woo. Now 3rd and 10. Manning looks off Alfred the Butler. Now finds Wayne. Boy, what a game he had. Flags were for offsides. The play stands. And then play action. Manning, Wayne. You mean they have more weapons than the triplets? They got Dallas Clark, the tight end. So after a sluggish first half, the Colts come on strong. They're 3-0 for Tony Dungy. They beat the Jaguars 23-13. 10 for 141 for Reggie Wayne.
A lot of play action off the hard count by Peyton Manning today to keep the defense back on their heels.
First time the Colts have been 3-0 since 1996. That's pre-Peyton. That was back with Mark Shabrota and Harbaugh. When we return, Warren said, why is he jumping around? Don't tell me they're using the big guy two ways. And Giants, Skins, take it to the limit in the nation's capital. We'll be back after the Monday debacle because the Giants return.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers special teams let them down. 3 block kicks last week. They won't go undefeated. But the Bucs still haven't allowed a touchdown yet this year. Going into Atlanta, be their turn to pull some tricks out of the bag. And so here we go with our prime cut. John Gruden and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, they want to get into the end zone. They didn't get in there at all last week in their loss to Carolina. And we're tied at 3-3 in the second. Brad Johnson and Michael Pittman. So we asked for the end zone. We get it. 68 yards, 10-3 Buccaneers. Later in the second, watch this now. Warren Sapp and Booger McFarland in the Bucs goal line offense. So off play action, Brad Johnson to the big guy. 99, Warren Sapp. Hey, man, touchdown. 17-3 Bucs.
Yeah, Warren Sapp lined up at the tight end. Matt Stewart, the linebacker right there. Look at Warren Sapp sell the fact that he's blocking, get himself open, was ready to make a little move right there. And then
how do we think that is, though?
I don't.
I'm
not commenting on that.
How does it compare to this? Elmo Wright. Didn't he kind of invent the end zone
Absolutely.
dance? While White Shoes Johnson perfected it. I don't know if Sapp is right there yet, but he hasn't been in the end zone as much. And the two big guys say, hey, we can help our offense too. So it's 17-3. Mike Vick, there you see his foot in a boot. At least the owner doesn't have to wheel him around. But the Bucs defense said, we beat you with Vick twice last year, now against Jug Johnson.
Yeah, Ryan needs the linebacker right off the edge. A great job of flattening down the line of scrimmage. Again, Warwick Dunn trying to get something up the middle. There's no game. And you're talking about running a power game if you're Atlanta with a guy who weighs literally 165, 170 pounds. Very difficult to do against this defense.
And then this pass by Johnson intercepted by a diving John Lynch. And so the Bucs defense, you know, hey, we're still us, Tom.
Yeah, watch Warren Sapp, middle of the field. Watch him get this push against the guard, figure out where the football is, shed him, get him off, and bring him down for a 4-yard loss. That's Justin Griffin at the running back position.
Yeah, later more troubles for Sling Johnson, as you'll have against the Buccaneers. Pass just overthrown. One of the Super Bowl heroes, Dwight Smith. Then later in the first half, Falcons driving, but again, the overthrow to Peerless Price and another interception by Dwight Smith. And so, against the Bucs, you scratch your head. Now it's a 31-10 game in the fourth, but Tampa Bay keeps on coming. Nate Webster with the sack. Words exchange, and in the end, it's Ellis Wims, 92. The jaws, Warren Sapp watched it for a while, and then he's trying to pull his teammate away like, that'll be enough. Get out of here. And then Sapp and Wims go at it. Sapp showing big-time leadership here, Tom.
Well, he actually waited before he approached this situation. He's trying to get the young man out of the way. I give him credit for doing that. And you don't want to try to embarrass one of your stars like this guy did.
So Tampa back emphatically. They did give up a touchdown to, of all folks, Woody Tiny Dantzler, kind of the option backup quarterback now for Atlanta. But Tampa wins it 31-10. and holding them to 136 yards. Warren Sapp, apparently, Jaws, the new Chuck Bednarik.
Warren, I spoke to John Gruden before the game, and he said, we needed some production from our tight ends. I was surprised it was you. How surprised were you?
Nah, he told me this morning, and kind of threw me off in my pregame, but I said, no, I got to go back to defense. Offense will take care of itself, and I knew Bull could get it to me.
This defense has given up 1 touchdown in 3 games, and of course it came on a 2-yard drive. How good can this defense become?
Well, the thing we want to do is just come out every week and keep ourselves in the game to where John and offense has a chance to win it for us, and that formula's worked so good for us.
All right, Jaws, Warren, hey, I'm excited to see you get in the end zone. But another guy got in the end zone, 82 and 82, meaning rushing and receiving, and that's Pittman. The Bucs score, Tom. We know what the end result's going to be, right?
Yeah, absolutely we know. And I think that anytime you get manhandled the way the offense did last week against Carolina, you want to come out the next week and make a statement. That's what they did with the running game this week. Extra point leading us right to Michael Pittman and Mike Allstott. This is after the game is now 17-10. Atlanta scored. You have to have some sort of an answer here. Michael Pittman sees the hole. Great job, offensive line, tackle, tight end, creating a seam for him, running north-south. Here, Keyshawn down low, Dilger at the top of the line, the fullback gonna come in. Everybody needs to complete their blocks. Dilger right there looking for the second level safety. Keyshawn Johnson gonna screen off the last guys. He's coming to the line of scrimmage. And again, Mike Allstott, maybe nobody better in the league at heading north-south and getting down the field. You get the nice push here off the right side. Just watch it, point of attack, where you see the defense pushed literally 4 yards back at the line of scrimmage. So I think that this team definitely wanted to make a statement that we can be a punishing, run-blocking, running team in between the tackles. Same things that people want to do to us is the same things that we're capable of doing to other people.
And you also knew no touchdowns at all last week for the Tampa Bay offense.
Yeah,
Look, they may not be the Rams or the Chiefs, of this year, but that wasn't going to stay that long. So the Buccaneers are 2-1, and the Falcons waiting for Mike Vick to get back. When we return, boy, plenty of great late action here in Week 3. Brett Favre and the Pack with an easy game down at Arizona. Maybe not. And literally a very tough break for Marshall Faulk and the Rams in more ways than one as they visit the Seahawks in the Pacific Northwest.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
Green Bay Packers in a heat of 102 degrees at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. The Packers struggling with winless and badly doing it in Arizona. But Emmitt Smith in on second and goal from the one, the play action. Jeff Blake to James Hodgins. And you got to be kidding me. The Cards are leading 20-13.
And yet the sell of that play is all about Emmitt Smith and selling that at the line of scrimmage.
So how many times have you seen it? Just over 3 minutes ago, Brett Favre going to lead a rally to Sterling. No, it's Javon Walker. And it's 34 yards. Here come the Pack. More Favre. Almost sacked, but what? He flips to Keith. No, that's Bubba Franks. 4 yards. More Favre to Javon Walker. So you can see the writing on the wall. It's going to be overtime. First and goal. To 7. 24 seconds left. Favre. It's incomplete. 2 Cards have a chance to end the rally and give the team the win. Second and goal. 16 seconds left. Favre to his old buddy Antonio Freeman. Underthrown. Franks pleads for pass on the play, but he doesn't see him. Third and goal, 10 seconds. Favre to the end zone. Dexter Jackson, one of Tom's cousins, makes the pick. But you remember him? Interception. Super Bowl. Now he's a Card. Favre can't believe it. Arizona beat Green Bay 20-13. Tom, the Pack are 1-2.
Yeah, and I look at the numbers there. Ahman Green, the 21 carries, the 53 yards. Brett Favre has said they need more support from the running game. I don't know if that qualifies. It's 20-plus carries. But, boy, they didn't really ever establish it and get started offensively. And give Arizona credit.
Another almost 100-yard game for
That's
Bolden, too. What a shocker as the Packers are really struggling in front of a lot of empty seats and a lot of Packers fans that made the trip down in Arizona. And Dave McGinnis on the board. Big game in the NFC West. It's the Rams and the Seahawks. Sean Alexander, wife, delivered baby, Valerie, delivered the baby girl, Heaven Alexander. So Maurice Morris was starting at running back in this big game for Seattle against the Rams. He caught a 9-yard pass from Hasselbeck, but they punted. Arlen Harris, it's a fumble, and Orlando Huff recovers. Seahawks in business, 7-0. Biggest game they played in a while. 7-7 second quarter. Mark Bolger, the Torrey Holt, 13 yards. Here come the Rams. Bolger, the Reverend, Isaac Bruce, St. Louis. Big road game where they're 1-8 over the last scotch year plus. 14-7, and here's Sean Alexander, he's back. The Seahawks congratulate him on being a dad, and he's handing out cigars right here. The 12-yard run. Seahawks trail 17-10 at the half. Third quarter. Oh no. Marshall Faulk, stuffed, fractured left hand. X-rays confirm that. No guess yet on how long he'll be out. Marshall Faulk sidelined. Meanwhile, 23-17, 3 minutes to go. Hasselbeck to Corin Robinson. Benched last week for violating team rules by Mike Holmgren. 32-yard game. Hasselbeck to the end zone on 3rd and 8. But here it is, defensive holding on Brian Young.
Yeah, we're gonna take a look here. Hasselbeck moving around. Certainly people trying to get in position to make a play. The holding right there on Brian Young going to give them an automatic first down. Number 66 right there, Young grabbing the jersey of number 71, Walter Jones. Pretty obvious call for the official.
So, a minute to go, 3 plays later, Hasselbeck, Robinson, touchdown, extra point, good. Seahawks are 3-0. They beat the Rams by the score of 24-23. And so Seattle, which gets the call, has the comeback. And Sean Alexander, let's see, I'm a dad for the first time. I'm in first place, in good shape for the first time in ever as a pro. He carries for 58 yards. Hasselbeck, 256 yards throwing. And the Seahawks have now gone 2 up on the Rams in a big, big win up there for them. And I guess resilient more than anything else, because the Rams, even despite the loss to Falk, Bolger played pretty well.
Played pretty well. They came back. They took the lead. In the end, you can look back and say, boy, we made the mistake on special teams. You fumbled the punt into the end zone. They get a free 7 points. And I think still, you know, minus Marshall Faulk and his abilities, and who knows, that, you know, you think, boy, you look at him and he doesn't look like the same Marshall Faulk. The 15 carries, not nearly enough. We used to be used to 28 carries, 182, 200 yards. If that's missing from this offense, then they could have real problems, no matter who the quarterback is.
And pending the result, big picture Seattle, pending the result of San Francisco, we'll show you that in a moment.
That's right.
They could be 2 up on the Rams and Niners, and the Niners they have in there in a couple weeks. It's setting up early on pretty nicely for Seattle. That's a huge change, obviously, in the NFC West. When we return, Ravens, can Jamal Lewis come close to last week's record breaker? They were at the Chargers, and the Niners in a, quote, game they're supposed to win. Terrell Owens and company at home against the Cleveland Browns. Jamal Lewis, record-setting 295 yards last week for the Baltimore Ravens in San Diego. Wait a minute. Oh, they're wearing the throwback jerseys, Tom. That's Drew Brees looking just awesome. But the problem is, whoa, it's a fumble, but when you're hot, you're hot. Lewis fumbles. Alan Ricard recovers, just like Brian Billick drew it up. Go for 1. Ravens lead it 7-3.
They say the ball takes funny bounces. 2 charges. This ball going to go right by him right there. Alan Ricard picks it up on the scoop, never has to break stride, heads cleanly toward the end zone.
The Ravens lead it 10-3 at the half. Third quarter, here comes Jamal Lewis. He's running past second base toward the outfield for 13 yards. Next play, the rookie Kyle Bowler. The Todd Uriah Heath, the second-year tight end. Look at the footwork by Heath. And then Lewis up the middle. 23 carries, 132 for him today. Bowler, Frank Sanders, 14 yards. Quote the Ravens, here we come. Bowler, Heath, 20 25 yards. That's nice. 17-3 Baltimore.
Quentin Chandler, the defender there, 6 feet. Heath is 6'5". The difference showed right there. Great over-the-top catch by Todd Heath.
Then Drew Brees. Pass tipped by Adelius Thomas. Picked off by Terrell Suggs. Their #1 draft pick. You know he can run. That was part of the reason the Ravens wanted him. First pick for the rookie, and then Lewis from 7 yards out, and now it's a route. And what is it about these throwback jerseys? They're the best uniforms in the history maybe of any professional sport. But since the Chargers are
Get rid of them.
they're 1-4. They can't win in them.
Get rid of
and
them.
a good win on the road by the Ravens, who got out there in the middle of the week to avoid the hurt.
And you can see that Kyle Bowler is gaining confidence because of the running of Jamal Lewis, because of the play of this defense, understanding I can go out and play pretty mistake-proof ball. 12 of 21, 12 complete. 7 last week, 12 completions this week.
And a head-scratching start at 0-3 by Marty Schottenheimer's San Diego Chargers. The New York Giants lost a mind number on Monday night, actually Tuesday morning, if you will, against Dallas. Now here they were at Washington, all of a sudden playing the team in first place at 2-0 in the NFC East, the Skins. So here we go. Did the Giants get off the mat? Well, the Skins, trailing 21-10 after Kerry Collins, 3 touchdown passes first half, had the Giants with a big lead, but Patrick Ramsey, Rod Gardner, 6-yard touchdown, 21-16. Washington goes for 2. Ramsey scrambling, buys time, and he finds Darnarian McCants for 2, and now it's a field goal game, 21-18. Tiki Barber, couple yards. Next play, false start, Giants coming apart for New York. 2nd and 13. Collins. Here's Bruce Smith in his face. Oh, it's through the hands of Jeremiah Trotter. He was a bullfrog. Collins to Bryans Mitchell. Short game. Giants gonna punt. Redskins ball, $1.50. Ramsey. McCants. Oh, yeah! He stretched it through there. He's a good-looking QB, Tom. Inside the 20. Leads to John Hall. Oh, he squeezes it through the right upright. We go to overtime. Tied at 21 all. The flip, won by the Giants. And Kerry Collins goes to work to Jim Finn from Pennsylvania down the sideline for a huge gain. Later in the drive, Barber. Stop. No! He squirts under the Redskin defense. And that sets up Matt Bryant. Go Monday night. Can he be the hero Sunday afternoon? Yes, he can. 29 yards. Good. Flag. Washington. Houston with a big one. 24-21 in overtime after the Redskins came roaring back, Tom, in this one.
Yeah, and I'll talk about the rushing numbers again. Look at Tiki Barber. This is the kind of game Jim Fossil wants to call. 28 carries, 126 yards. Help you keep the ball away from the old ball coach. And boy, when you protect Kerry Collins, he really does have great ability.
I don't know. I keep thinking about team wins toss. The other team never gets ball in overtime.
That's right. That's right.
We're going to continue that discussion. Meanwhile, Browns, Niners, and the Cleveland Browns. Much ballyhooed quarterback battle in the preseason. Kelly Holcomb won it. Now they haven't scored. 1 touchdown pass in 2 games. First quarter, quarterback sneak, Holcomb. Cheaty, bang, Ahanato hits Holcomb's ankle. Gets the right ankle tape. He didn't want to come out. Didn't want any part of that.
That's right.
12-0 Niners, but just field goals, Tom. Browns at their own 25, fourth quarter. Holcomb to Kevin Johnson, 6 with a flag. Roughing the passer. Niners penalized in double digits last week, and St. Louis contributed to their loss. Holcomb, Quincy Morgan, incomplete, flag. Pass interference, Mike Hurup. 3rd and goal now at the 2. Holcomb, Andre Davis. All of a sudden we got a game. It was all Niners, although they didn't score touchdowns, Tommy. Now it's 12-7. Now, 7.5 to go. Holcomb picked off. Nice coverage by Julian Peterson.
Great job of looking back for the football. Find the football. You'll never interfere. You turn toward the ball. You get a chance to pick it up, especially if you squeeze the receiver to the sideline.
But the Browns get the ball back. San Francisco doesn't do anything with it. Under 4 minutes to go. Holcomb to Steve Hyden. Holcomb to Johnson. That's 8 yards. Buck 17 to go at the 39 of the Niners. To Hyden. He speed skates his way up the sideline. 9 yards out of bounds. 48 seconds to go, 3rd and 2. Nice to Johnson. 19 yards and out of bounds at the 11. 3rd and 10. Under 40. Holcomb. Andre Davis between 4 Niners in the end zone. What a play, Tom.
Yeah, I thought this ball's going out of the end zone. Look at the height. Very Dwight Clarkish.
Yes. We were there. Jim Mora Jr., the defensive coordinator, can't believe it slipped away. 2-point conversion failed. Niners down 1. Jeff Garcia picked off by Anthony Henry, just trying to make something happen with 7 seconds, and a stunning loss at home by the Niners, and the Browns get off the schneid. So Cleveland wins it with the 2 scores in the 4th quarter by the score of 13-12, and it was some very nice routes running crunch time and some nice throws on the money by Holcomb.
Yeah, Kelly Holcomb keeping his confidence even though things weren't going well for him for about 3 quarters, and what a great win and a big win for Coach Butch Davis.
And his defense holding the Niners out of the end zone. And so the Niners fall 2 back of the Seahawks in the NFC West. Primetime performers.
Well, my game ball goes to Priest Holmes, and it wasn't all about the numbers. He had bruised ribs, but you looked at 18 carries, the 89 yards, the 67 receiving. You know, he showed up even though he wasn't 100%.
And the biggest numbers, Reggie Wayne. So if Indianapolis is assembling more than Marvin Harrison, Peyton Manning, Edgerrin James, the rookie Dallas Clark, they get another wide receiver like Wayne with 10 for 141. Double, quadruple, quintuple trouble with the Colts. When we return, we'll recap, have a comment or two on week 3. It's changed a few things. You know what? I know there are overtime games, etc. Bucs and Falcons, Warren Sapp, not only on the D-line, touchdown for Brad Johnson. Bucs over the Falcons, 31-10, and a dance. Do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Vikings, 3-0, all wins in the division. Dante Culpepper had a couple of touchdowns, even though he hurt his back. He says he'll be back next week. He played well. Gus Farad played well. Vikings win at Detroit 23-13. Vinny Testaverde picked off by Asante Samuel. The Patriots losing players by the drove through injury, but after that shaky week 1, they're 2-1 to beat the Jets 23-16. Peyton Manning to Reggie Wayne, who caught 10 balls as the Colts, after a sluggish start, they win 23-13 over the Jags. First time since '96 they've been that. Infante was the coach, and of course that was Jim Harbaugh at quarterback. Some Seattle and Minnesota all of a sudden are 2 up, Tom, in their division.
Yeah, it's shifting ground all the time in the NFL, and I think the thing that we have learned through the first 3 weeks of the season, same thing we learned the last 3 weeks of last year, and that is that everybody's going to be competing for their division titles by the time we get to week 10, 11, 12, and beyond.
I think we're seeing new teams step up.
That's what it is.
And you don't want to say it's a war of attrition, but here go the Rams without Falk. And we should say, hey, congratulations, Sean Alexander, a dad,
yes, absolutely,
and a first place by 2 games at the same point. Tom, it's still summer.
I know.
Are you ready for the fall?
Yeah, I am.
You better be.
I am.
Brace me. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching NFL Prime Time.